Hey everybody, happy Friday night. It is time for Bible bedtime stories. And tonight we are reading out of the I Am Bible Stories About the Names of God book. And we are going to be reading a story called A Tale of Two Builders. Ephesians 2, verse 20. The cornerstone is Christ Jesus himself. And the story comes to us from Matthew 7 and Luke 6. Jesus looked at his disciples and out over the entire crowd. He had been talking to them for a long time, and they still were listening carefully to his words. I've taught you about many things today, he said, and I've spoken a lot of words, and they're important words. But you must do what the words say if you want to be wise. Don't just listen to the words and walk away. Then Jesus told this story to help people remember to obey his words. A wise man wanted to build a new house. Where should he build it? He wanted his house to last for many years, and he wanted it to be a strong and safe house, even in the middle of a storm. So the man found some land and he dug down deep to the rocky layer underground, and he laid the foundation for his house on the rock. Then he cut and he stacked and he sanded and he pounded until his house was done. One day the man saw dark clouds gathering in the sky. "Storm is coming," he said. "I'd better get inside." Thunder crashed and lightning flashed. The rain poured down and caused a flood. Fierce winds beat against the man's house. Would the house survive the storm? Yes, when the storm ended, the house that was built on the rock was still standing and was as good as new. Another man also wanted to build a new house, but this foolish man built a house right on top of the shifting sand. When the thunder crashed and lightning flashed, rain poured down and caused a flood. And the fierce winds beat against the house. What happened? Well, the house fell down because it was built on the sand. Learn from this story, Jesus said. If you hear my words and do them, you will be like the wise man who built his house on the rock with a strong foundation. But if you hear my words and don't do what I say, you will be like the foolish man who built his house on the sand. Do you guys take any kind of lessons? Well, maybe before we had to stay at home, you might have. Maybe it was piano lessons or swimming lessons. Maybe there were dance lessons or gymnastic. But when we take lessons to learn something new, we have to learn the basic skills first. They're the foundation that supports the harder skills that we learn later on. Every house has its foundation, a beginning usually made of concrete or blocks. And when the Bible was written, foundations were made on stone. And an important part of any foundation was the cornerstone. It was the first and the largest stone of the foundation. And without the cornerstone in place, a house would fall down. Jesus is our cornerstone because he is the strong foundation that we can build our lives on. If we listen to Jesus and if we do what he says, we will have a strong foundation in our lives, no matter what happens. When you think about this story today that I read, you can think about everything that's going on in our lives and how crazy our lives have become recently. And it would be really easy for us to be really scared. It would be easy for us to think that life will never get back to normal and we don't know what our future will be like. But when we live our lives with Jesus as our foundation, when we listen to the words that he speaks in the Bible, we know that no matter what, even if our life is crazy, And even if it's different from what we expected it to be, he is still a part of it. And he still guides our life. No matter where we go, no matter what happens, no matter what we do, if our lives are founded on Jesus, he will hold it all together. He will keep us strong because we have our foundation in him. Now, this is kind of the perfect opportunity for us to talk about our Lives for Jesus campaign that we're doing at St. Paul. We've spent the week collecting food, and I walked through and looked at the barrels today and walked through and looked at the tables that we had put some of the food on. There is a lot of food there, which is amazing how you have helped to reach out to our food pantries in Grafton and Saukville and Port Washington. There's still time if you haven't made your donation yet. You can come in on Monday and drop your food off. The church office will be open between 8 o'clock in the morning and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So maybe you're doing your grocery shopping this weekend. If you do that, remember to grab a couple of things off the list that we have for our food pantries and drive by and drop off that donation. The second thing that I want you to remember is that we're still doing our houses. Remember last week I talked about how you could pick up a house at church, and we wanted you to paint it or use markers or scrapbook paper or fabric or whatever you wanted to use to decorate it, and then to put the Lives for Jesus sticker on it. And that house is to remind us that we are part of a whole big community that's called St. Paul. And whether you're a member of our school or whether you're a member of our church, whether you're young or whether you're a little bit older, we want everybody to do a house. Now, I walked through our lobby today where we have our houses, and right now there's only about 9 houses left. This weekend, I'm having my boys cut some more, so we will have some more in the church lobby on Monday. All you have to do is swing by, come in. You don't even have to talk to anybody if you don't want to. Pick up a house and pick up a sticker and then decorate it. The goal is that we have a whole bunch of people participate in this project. And when we can come back together, you're going to bring your house and we're going to put all those houses together so that we can see just how many people there are that belong to a part of the body, Christ, that we call St. Paul. I'm really excited for that. I've got some cool things that are coming up next week. I'm not going to ruin the surprise, though. I have some plans, and so I want you to pay attention on Sunday when it's time for Bible Bedtime Stories again, so that you can hear some of the fun new things that we're going to be doing next week. But now, before you head off to bed, we need to pray. So if you would fold your hands and pray with me. Dear Jesus, thank you for today and for the sun that we saw peeking through the clouds. Thank you that you remind us that you are our cornerstone, that you are the strong foundation that we can build our lives on. Help us to be wise and listen to your words and do them. Jesus, we love you. Amen. I hope you all have a great night. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I hope to see some of you for church at 9:30. I'll be hopping on for our contemporary service. And I will see you on Sunday for another Bible Bedtime Stories. Have a great weekend, guys. Stay safe. I love and I miss you all, and I can't wait to be back together with you soon. Have a great night.